Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round 2 of the 2020 YugiTuber Grand Championship. So, for this round, if you're just joining us, each player could only build a deck using common cards. As long as the cards came in common rarity, they were legal for this tournament. There was tons of brewing going on, and a lot of different strategies getting thrown around. And we've got a good one for this match. Guess what? There's no Goki in it, so that's already a good start. But for our commentary, we have the one and only Mr. MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! Himself, as always, for support. Joseph, how you doing?
I mean, it's really frustrating that you've asked me to commentate something so suboptimal. Neither player on the best deck of the format, Goki, but for the benefit of the viewers, I will do it.
But it's going to be exciting because we see House of Champs firing off this Pot of Desires. You can play Pot of Desires in a myriad of different decks, of course, but there is one deck that can take advantage of the Pot of Desires more so than most from the banishing effect, and that is Grenmaju. Oh, yes.
I'm commentating a Grenmaju match?
I thought you would love that considering the outcome of your match.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I just am so excited to do so. So, unfortunately, one problem with Grenmaju is if you're not able to find the power cards, the Grenmajus, pretty specifically, your turn ones often look like this. One set and a prayer that you don't get OTK'd.
Well, it looks like he didn't. Revs is just going to go ahead and T-set for himself here. Now, he's on a deck that I don't think anyone else played for round 2, and it's Desk Bots.
Oh, gosh. So, Deskbot is a deck that is absolutely miserable to keep track of, both in terms of what the individual monsters do and the attack points of said monsters. I think if there's any deck that can match Grenmaju's OTK potential, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to see John summon out this Grenmaju, and this is on 4k attack, so this is half of Rev's life points. Oh, we're just going to go straight for the Eater of Millions here, and this could potentially just be an OTK right out of the gate.
Yeah, there is nothing on Earth more painful than watching your opponent begin to banish cards face down for Eater of Millions. This is an 8k hit if Grenmaju connects. Let's see what happens.
All right, the Eater connects. Is Grenmaju going to? Oh, and it did! So John just one-shotting Revs right out of the gate, only 2 minutes into the commentary. And
John, this was not very good for the SEO. You've really ruined our ability to set mid ads. Come on.
Now, I actually think Ruggles was also someone else who was considering Desk Bots as well. He was also considering Heroes. Heroes also has a lot of its cards coming in common. John just going to set 5 and pass here. That is just miserable. Revs with the Twin Twister. I mean, that's a good start, but you're just going in blind here. This is rough. We're going to get rid of Phantom Knight Sword ×2. Okay. Here comes Deskbot 003. That's going to immediately get met with a Solemn Strike. John is not having any of that whatsoever. And we're going for a second Twin Twister.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at parity. Of course, you have to Solemn Strike the Despot 003. Otherwise, your opponent is going to easily be able to make Halka Fibrax, and you don't want to have to contend with that. One set card remains in John's back row. They're going to set one card and pass, and this is Yu-Gi-Oh! At its finest. A Grenmaju off the top will end the game.
Wow, so House of Champs paying 3250 life points to protect that last set back row. I mean, that's got to be a really good card to just value protecting that much. Here comes Deskbot 004 now. Looks like we're just going straight to battle phase. That's going to be met with Blazing Mirror Force.
Wow. Sheesh. For what it's worth, I really like this take on Grenmaju. You know, one of the problems that other Grenmaju decks in this format seem to have is that they're kind of feast or famine. Either you're hitting with Grenmaju or you're losing. John has the ability to play a bit of back row, bait out things like Twin Twister that don't do anything against half of his strategy or the cards that win him the game.
Oh my
Grenmaju
God.
Deiza is a heck of a threat. Let's see.
So Grenmaju off of the top deck. Pot of Desires, but a Magic Cylinder!
Oh my God!
Oh my God! The memes! I love it. Just like that, we go to game number 3. We are only 4 minutes in, and this game is almost already over. I cannot believe we just saw a Magic Cylinder resolve in 2020.
Okay, I understand that Magic Cylinder seems extremely scrubby, but think about it from a metagame perspective. Everyone who's not on Goki is on Grenmaju, and it's always over 8,000. If you resolve Magic Cylinder, you win the game.
All right, so here comes House of Champs' third Pot of Desires, 3 and 3. I mean, it is a 3 of, but still, I mean, you gotta love when you draw it. Interesting, John opting to go first. Oh, there's Barrier Statue of the Stormwind. So interesting. So John's not only on Grenmaju, but also just on Stun, it looks like, in general.
Wow, the spirit of Robbie Cole lives on. Moonmirror Shield on the barrier statue of the Stormwinds. Again, this is a much more robust strategy than Gren Maju or Bust. They're able to sit behind this barrier statue of the Stormwinds, wall off the Deskbot plays, the Deskbot OTKs, at least for the moment.
And it looks like Revs is just going to have to set and pass. This Stormwinds is going to be very difficult to deal with, but what's worse than one than two barrier statue of the Stormwinds? Even if Revs finds a way to get rid of the first, even that one's equipped with a Moon Mirror Shield. There's a Marshmallow. Joseph, what year is it?
There was never a year when all of these cards were relevant at the same time. This is from a whole different dimension. Marshmallow, of course, dealing 1,000 damage to John and then a quick pass back. I mean,
yeah.
Does John have an out for this card? I guess Eater of Millions?
I guess. For people who don't know, Marshmallow cannot be destroyed by battle. So pretty much we are at a standstill here until House of Champs finds it out or Revs finds it out. We know they could be playing Dark Hole. That was printed as a common. That would clean up their boards nicely. House of Champs going to swing in here, take out the Deskbot 004.
Oh, that's broken. It actually won't. If this monster battles an opponent's monster, you can send a Deskbot from your deck to the graveyard, and then it gains attack and defense equal to that monster's level times 500. For individuals who are well-versed in Deskbot OTKs, this is a critical part of any of them, and it's a fantastic way to not only deal damage to your opponent akin to attacking a face-down Gren Maju, but also bin a copy of Deskbot 009.
All right, so thank you for correcting me there. Now we're just going to go and set a monster and pass here on House of Champs side. Again, a much slower game here, but now it makes sense. I mean, neither player being able to special summon other than Wind and with the Marshmallow. Here comes Symphonic Warrior Guitar.
Is Mike's a Wind?
It is! Oh my god, the next level plays! Not even House of Champs was able to prepare for such madness.
Alright, well, we're gonna get over one of these two barrier statues. It's kind of walling House of Champs off from really powerful plays as well. Phantom Knight's Wing is okay, they'll still take damage, but the one barrier statue will survive.
Correct. The statue will survive, but Phantom Knight's Wing has exhausted its use. But, I mean, pretty much John just wants to keep it on the board. But Mike's is going to be able to run it over again next turn. We're just going to set one and go for a Necroface here. Interesting. So we're going to shuffle back all the cards that were banished off of the Pot of Desires. That means this Necroface is on 2,200, I believe.
Unfortunate. Just slightly under the Mike's. Again, the ways that you can out these cards are things like Eater of Millions, special summoned monsters, and all of those you are walled off from as well with the barrier statue of the Stormwinds.
Yeah, well, luckily this barrier statue was equipped with Moon Mirror Shield, so we were able to always get over anything that's in attack mode with an extra 100, so that's very nice. But it looks like Revs is just going to pass, kind of riding on this Marshmallow to get him there. And House just passes again. He has no out to this Marshmallow. I mean, this is very reminiscent of my game with 3 stacks with the Spirit Reaper. If you don't have an out to a card that can't be destroyed by battle, I mean, you can just stall as long as you want.
Going for that set card here, it's another 004. 004 is going to send a copy of, what is that, 005 to the graveyard?
Yes.
Ugh, these Pendulum Despots are hard to keep track of. Of course, you want to be playing pretty much every number to make use of their field spell, which I think also runs common.
All right, so we're going to see the barrier statue hit onto a second Marshmallow. Oh, no. So now House actually needs a board wipe or 2 pieces of spot removal. These Marshmallows really putting in work here. I never thought I'd be saying that in 2020, but here we are.
So just like you would be thinking about with Mystic Mine games, it's actually completely possible that House of Champs is able to deck his opponent. He's up on cards. His opponent's been binning things from the deck via 004's effect. Not really playing for the long game, and another Phantom Knight's Wing will protect the Stormwinds, but realistically, what is John going to do other than continue to pass until Revs has drawn his whole deck?
Okay, so we see an attack declared by Barrier Statue. Magic Cylinder going to be used in response. It's going to negate the first attack, but then this Necroface can clean up, take out the Symphonic Warrior Guitar there. So, John is starting to get low on life. I would say he's probably insulated for the time being, but he's got to be wary of these Magic Cylinders. Another Marshmallow could put him down to 32, and, you know, with one of these Gren Maju hits potentially lurking, a Magic Cylinder could just completely turn this around and win Revs the game out of nowhere.
Yeah, that Necroface was still putting in attacks while at 2,200. You know, you make a couple of bad attacks with that card specifically, and suddenly Revs is walking through this game. John attacking once again. Another 004. It looks like we are still going to be sending Deskbots to the graveyard. 001, a lot less threatening in a non-Auroradon format.
Hey, we actually know what that one does. Here comes Deskbot 008, the low scale it looks like here. It looks like we're going to pen 4-1. We're going to get out a copy of 5. 5 has the effect that if it's normal or special summon, you can target a spell trap card on the field and destroy it. Oh no, he's actually not able to do that because of the barrier statue of the Stormwinds, and the Deskbot isn't Earth, so quickly gonna fix the game state there. Nothing to worry about. John's just gonna draw and pass, get rid of a barrier statue of the Torrent that he does not need at this point. Here comes a twin from RevzCards now. We're gonna get rid of the Moonmirror Shield and that middle set card. Gonna Phantom Knight's Wing for the 3rd time, his other barrier statue that is in defense mode. You know, not like the best, but it's, you know, okay, I suppose.
So I expect we will be activating the effect of Moonmirror Shield here. This is very frustrating from Revs' perspective. Moonmirror prevents decking out and means that the onus is on Revs to make something happen, despite being the person who's walling with Marshmelon. Looks like we are going to battle phase with Despot 003, and Damage Step will be activating the effect of 003 to give it an additional 1,000 attack.
But here we have Sword, which gives it an extra 800, so that means that the statue is 18 and the Deskbot's only 15. Rev's going to take 300 here, and he's just going to pass. Just so frustrating when you're playing a deck like this, because just when you think you have a way to deal with the statues, they typically have something to deal with. Here comes a Gold Sark from House of Champs. What are we going to see off of this? Just a Pankratops, it looks like.
Oh my gosh. Correctly understanding that Banishing Necroface is probably pretty bad here. It's one of the very few ways in which you could actually lose the game. Using it as it was intended, sealing a card away for 2 turns, eventually we're going to find an out to that Marshmelon.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of draw pass turns here. Revs is going to set a card. After 2 turns now, the Pankratops does go to House of Champs.
Pankratops.
I mean, it's not the worst, I don't think. There's the 3rd Marshmelon. That's going to put House of Champs down to 2,700. And again, this is dangerous territory for House now, because again, Magic Cylinder's lurking, and this statue is, you know, pretty sizable, and he has 2 Magic Cylinders left if he's playing multiple copies, which, I mean, I don't think you're just playing 1 Magic Cylinder for the memes. You're probably just all in at this point, but man, this is frustrating.
Necroface, Marshmelon, Magic Cylinder. It's like I'm back on the playground. I think we are actually committing to the Tribute Summon here.
He's going to Tribute...
set one.
I was about to say, Tribute set. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. But no, we're going to Tribute both of the statues for Pankratops. We're going to get this Moonmirror Shield back here. And he's got the Eater. Okay.
Yep, as expected, those Eaters are rotting in hand with those multiple copies of barrier statues on his side of the field. House of Champs going to now be able to summon one. This is a very clean out to Marshmelon, but also a nice possibility to hit any of the burn spells.
Oh, John sniped one of the Magic Cylinders with a blind MST. To be fair, I think that's probably, like, he probably isn't playing that many traps, so, I mean, that probably is a pretty confident hit, but wow, not having to worry about that must be pretty nice. We're going to fire off Pot of Desires here, but that's a bit risky. That puts him in the deck out range now, so it's, again, he's got Moonmirror Shield, so it's not the worst, but okay, so there's Moonmirror Shield on the Eater.
It's also a yes and no type scenario, you know. Pot of Desires does put him closer to deck out, but if he's got a Necroface lurking in hand, he can ensure that it never actually occurs.
That's fair. That's also true. Looks like Revs is taking a moment to think here with these 3 Marshmelons. He's going to fire off a Reasoning. Okay. So,
what do you pick? Despots are all different levels. We've seen a couple of 4s, so probably not that. 3, maybe?
He's going to declare 5. Okay, so he hits Deskbot 6, so that is able to be summoned. We're going to see Deskbot 6 hit the field. Remember, those barrier statues are gone, so these special summons are all good to go. If it's normal or special summon, you can target a monster on the field, change its battle position, and so that's, like, fine, I guess. I don't know if that's, like, super relevant in this particular instance. Revs is going to think about if he wants to use that effect. Oh, is he going to... Wait a minute. He's normal summoning Effect Veiler?
Are we going to make a 7?
Are we going to Black Rose? No way.
There's no way you would do that.
No way you Black Rose.
Marshmelon.
No way. Oh my god. This is not happening. Well, we know John has Strike. He plays Strike. We saw it in the previous games. So
yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I mean, Solemn Strike here is okay, but it puts you at 700. Your Eater of Millions will kill you if it gets Magic Cylindered.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I gotta give it to Revs. He went for it.
That's extremely heads up. Honestly, I think this is the best case scenario for him. You don't actually want to pop your board of 3 Marshmallow. You want to make sure your opponent is continuing to attack, putting them dead to things like Magic Cylinder. You've got 13 cards in deck. You've banished none face down. If you're on 3 Cylinder, you will find it eventually.
Oh my god. Ooh. So Revs actually pen summoned out that Despot 002, which would have allowed him to actually add another Despot to his hand, but House of Champs negated that with Solemn Judgment. He's playing with fire right now. This is very dangerous.
I mean, he's got to have another Solemn Judgment set. You wouldn't be activating that on anything but Magic Cylinder from this position.
Yeah,
House Champs thinking, gonna pop the set card blind. What is it?
Machine Duplication. I mean, that's a good one. This is Deskbots after all. But at this point, Revs is just trying to set anything that might make John waste his removal and possibly keep that Magic Cylinder live. Here comes a Barrier Statue of the Inferno, so now you can't special summon except for fire. We're going to go to Battle Phase here. Eater's going to slowly pick away at these Marshmallons. We're going to banish one of them, so that made it through. Dimensional Fissure on the main Phase 2 for House of Champs. And now we're just going to pass the turn here. So John has a slow way to be able to get into this, and so Revs has to be very careful.
Well, provided that John has a Necroface in hand, this is pretty good for him. But if he doesn't, it's very possible that he decks out. You're really only getting one meaningful attack in a turn, at least until these Marshmallons are cleared. And these Despots are extremely chunky. It's very possible that we're just able to walk it back for the next 6 turns. Revs committing, though, to a Despot 005 play.
Yeah, and if it's normal or special summon, you target a spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. So this could be negated by House of Champs here. We do know he plays Solemn Judgment. He can obviously activate it because you can always pay half your life. It's only on 1k attack, Revs is clarifying. We're going to see if this is fair. It looks like they're going to make sure that Dimensional Fissure is resolving properly. But John is going to Solemn Judgment that summon and go down to 175 life points. Oh my god. This is so tense.
Back row. Let's see the Magic Cylinder.
Okay, we're going to draw. He's got to have the 3rd judge. He's only used 2 Judgment at this point, right?
2 Judgments, 2 Cylinders, yes.
Okay, so there's still 1 Cylinder for Revs, 1 Judgment for John. Here comes Necroface on the normal summon, so this will reset the deck. That's pretty good. You don't have to worry about deck out. He had the other Necroface. That was what we were slightly concerned about, but again, he probably already knew this before making any of these decisions. Necroface is going to be on a very high attack, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of like 2,700-ish.
It is a very threatening card, but it is also extremely lethal to an individual who is not prepared to play against the power that is Magic Cylinder.
Okay, flipping the set 3rd Necroface. Okay, so wait, let's do some math here. This connects. The set Necroface is 1,200. The other Necroface was on like 22-ish, and this other one's on 3k. The Barrier Statue's also... Is this lethal? No way. No
way. Saying on declaration and then taking the damage. Is this actually it? It's 25 for your 3.
To be fair, Revs could also just wait till the very last attack just to make it that much more climactic. There it is, and it looks like that attack has connected. Revs bluffing the other cards in the back row, and House of Champs turning it all the way up to 11, going from one of the fastest 2 games ever to a very grindy slog, but manages to win it with 175 life points remaining.
He could have lost. If that 005 had stuck, limiter removal killed him over the Barrier Statue of the Infernos. He could have lost! He played so well!
Oh my god. I wish you and I had our face cams turned on for when that Magic Cylinder resolved last in Game 2. That would have been priceless. But guys, thank you so much for watching the video. We will see you in the next match.